First of all, welcome to everybody. It's nice that you attend this session on a nice Thursday evening or late afternoon. I have very bad and stormy weather. I don't know what the weather is at your side.
All good here, thanks, so far.
So you have sunshine, Johan?
I think that's a stretch, but it's trying to break through and no storm yet, at least. So
Okay. Okay, let's get started. Let me see how to switch the slides. Okay, so welcome everybody. My name is Vincent, and as you can see on the slide, I'm working for Platan, and Platan is of course part of Companial, and we are specialized in training and learning programs. And today, probably a huge surprise, but we are going to talk about AI, as it is, of course, an important topic or a technology that is entering our business lives and personal lives. So I think it's a good moment to talk today about how you can upskill, into AI. What is our agenda, or what is the topic of today? It's this shape of AI maturity, and during this session I will talk about AI maturity, but I will also talk about shape, and then we will see how our learning journeys, and we're going to particularly look at the AI learning journey, how that can help your AI maturity, how it can help you to build, capacity for AI, to convert it into business value. So basically, we are going to do a session here that should envision you a little bit how you can get into shape for AI. Now, speaking about AI and AI maturity, I don't know if you can see it well here on the slide, but you can find, these research organizations like Gartner, but you have many more. And they all have, envisionings about, AI maturity. And there are different models there. In essence, it doesn't make, a difference really which model that you look at. It always comes down to the same thing. But of course, in terms of AI maturity, there are a number of levels, let's say, or stages or progressions that organizations go through, and that our whole economy, let's say, goes through. And as you can see, the first level is awareness. And I think that the majority of Dynamics partners are in the awareness level, because of course Microsoft is pushing so many AI messages, in our mailbox, in our meetings, in any interaction with Microsoft, you see, you feel, you hear about AI. And of course, we have things like Copilots in our software. We have ChatGPT, we have Claude, or we have so many other applications where AI is infused in. So there is no escape of AI, and I think we are all looking at these AI technologies. We are all maybe playing a little bit with these AI technologies, and that is level 1 and level 2. All right. The more you progress into level 2, and certainly as a business, I think there is the level where you go experimenting a little bit with AI. And that is, from awareness to being more active as a business. And I think the majority of us, we are doing that already. Most of us have looked at AI technology in terms of our Dynamics products, in terms of Power Platform. And that is good, that's the stage. I think that the majority of us is in, right? Some are just in the beginning of awareness. A number of us are a little bit further in level 2. But the challenge for the upcoming years, I think, is to reach level 3, level 4, level 5, right? And what is that? Well, basically level 3 and level 4, I think you have to see that as iterations. You go into level 3, then you reach level 4, and maybe you go back to level 3 to reach level 4 again. And the more you do that, the more you have iterations in these levels, you will get into level 5. So the core of our challenge is to step into level 3 and to go to level 4 and to go back to level 3 and to go back to level 4. A kind of a culture in the organization where we have these iterations or loops. And what is the essence in that loop is that we are leaving the stage of exploring the technology, but stepping into the level where we say like, hey, we are looking for business value now with this technology. And that is a huge step, you know. I think that only few of us are really systematically doing that step. And that step it can help us as a partner organization, AI, to find efficiency in how we work, in how we deliver business solutions, in how we develop. But it can also be on the functional level, you know, that we're looking for business value with AI technology to fuel the efficiency of our partners, of our customers, sorry. So that means that we're looking for business functionality that, you know, makes sense to a customer, that differentiates us in the market, that finds new gains with our ERP or CRM products. That is level 3, finding these kinds of things. And it starts usually with a pilot, you know, 10 pilots, 5 pilots, a number of pilots. Some of them will fail. You will not find the business value, or you will, you know, not find the technological solution to realize that, or it takes too much time, or people lose focus. But some of these pilots will be successful. And once we have that with such a pilot, you can go into level 4. And that means you are looking for, let's say, commercial business success with it. Is it scalable? Do our customers want that? Does it make a difference in our sales? You know, can we get enough revenue from this? And that is, you know, the cycle that we need to do, level 3, level 4. And if that cycle is systematic in your organization, let's say, then, you know, you are at level 5 or reaching level 5, where the AI technology is becoming really transformational for your organization. Now, I don't know, maybe some of them or some of you already are in level 3 or level 4. Some of you might only be at level 1. You know, there's a big variety today, of course, in the partner ecosystem, and that is normal because basically, you know, I see it, you know, of course, the news about AI is now for a few years already, you know, very intensively, and we can see a lot of things happening. But before it really goes from Microsoft to partner to customer, that takes a little bit of time. So I think it's normal that we're not all at level 3 or level 4 already. And that's also the case for us at Platan. We have created the AI learning journey, but that's only the starting stage for us. And we are further developing it now. We will further develop it next year, and so on. And I think what I want to do today is also give you a glance on how we see it, on how we are going to develop it, and what we have today. Now, MIT did a research to see, you know, in which phases are the majority of you know, technological organizations worldwide. What is the level of AI maturity? And, you know, as we speak, 95% of organizations fail to be systematically in the levels 3 to 5. So the majority of us is not there. So that also means that the business has not really found a systemic way to convert AI technology into business value. That's you know, that's a search that everybody of us is in now. Everybody talks about AI. You see AI everywhere, but the conversion of AI into real business value, we are not at that level yet. And that's also something you see at the stock exchange. We are still in a hype. Shares are overvalued big time, and everybody is waiting for the moment where the economy is finding the business value applied with AI technology. And in this research, MIT found that, if you want to be in level 3, 4, or 5, then this requires a different type of leadership, and a different ability to learn. And that is the conclusion of that result, of that study, in a few words. And it's no surprise, the learning curve to come to that business value is huge. And of course, leadership is necessary to facilitate this in organizations. And that's very hard because the majority of us, we are in business as usual. We need to implement ERP at customer X. We need to implement customer engagement at customer Y. And that has the priority, And our developers and consultants, they are also trying to find as much efficiency in what they do by repeating what they do every time. So getting new practices in there, getting new solution heuristics in there is really a challenge. And that's equally challenging as the whole technology part of it. You can understand the technology part of it, but that does not mean that your organization is really on the level of maturity. And that was the message of this kind of research. And there was also a framework involved with it. And the framework says, if you want to evolve over the coming years, you need to pay attention or give attention to the shape framework. And that's why we, focused on this session is getting into shape for AI. And what does the framework learns us is that, if you want to have AI to become transformational in your organization and for your customers and generate real business value for you, then you have to start, paying attention to all these elements. And the first is strategic agility. And strategically, the focus needs to be much more on finding business value with the technology than on all the new stuff that goes around in the technology. Sounds very logical, but most organizations have very big difficulties with that. So you need leadership that, facilitates this and makes this possible. Secondly, the focus in organizations needs to be that this is human-centric. And that means that the technology by itself will not create business value for your organization. It's your team that needs to create business value with this technology. So, the technology is not going to do anything for you unless you have people in your organization who are learning, who are experimenting, who are making pilots, who are thinking about these pilots to be scalable in your customer base or not, and going back again if it fails. That is an iteration that can only be executed by humans. And I think organizations need to understand that and need to facilitate that with leadership. Applied curiosity is also linked to what I already said. This is about continuous learning, but also continuous experimentation. And that means that it doesn't mean that we need to do this in a chaotic way, that everybody just needs to do experiments like, hey, I did find something with AI and I have this, and then somebody else has something different. That's nice, but then you're still at level 1. If you want to be at level 3, you need to do that, let's say, more in an agile way, in a Scrum way, or however you want to see that. It needs to be facilitated in the organization, that people learn, that people make experiments, that people build pilots, and that people strategize on that. Then, of course, I've already mentioned the performance of it. Can we scale it? We should measure it. What does work? What is not working? How do our customers react to it? And lastly, Shape also says you need to pay attention to the ethical component of it, because of course you take risks if you don't. We have the EU Act that says us, to be compliant with a number of things, but we also have GDPR, we have security, and they all interact with each other. So, if we're going to work with customer data the AI way, we are in a different ballgame than we were with some customer data in a single database that was protected. So I think that, everybody knows this already, but this is a very important focus that we need to have in organizations if we want to be in the future successful with it. So what we want to do is create more AI maturity in organizations. And that means that we need to leave the stage where everybody is learning things about AI and testing themselves and experimenting with it. We need to come to an AI-driven organization, and that will not be overnight. We need to work on that, because we need to change cultures. We need to change how we facilitate things. We need to change how we budget things. We need to prioritize, what is important to test, what are important pilots to make, and we need to follow up and measure on that. And the combination of all these shape dimensions is going to help you. And of course, we as Platan, we as Companial, what can we do? We can't do everything for you, of course, but the learning part, that is something that we can help you with. And as you know, we have learning journeys. So learning journeys are a subscription-based service of learning programs, learning paths, and we have different paths within a learning journey subscription. And one of them is the AI learning journey. And the elements of Shape is something that we are using now to make sure that we have all dimensions of, let's say, this framework of what partners need to facilitate the AI maturity in their organization. And in the learning journeys, we have different levels or categories. We have the proficient category, the progress category. We have the specialized category. And in each of these categories, we try to progress a little bit, from awareness, curiosity, to much more, let's say, performance-driven and strategic kind of elements. So we try to make a mix of different type of courses in there, or different type of sessions that are necessary. And of course, like I said in the beginning, we made a start with it. It's not finished, it's not complete, and there are still missing things. We are aware about that, but we are working on it to make it more mature, the learning for AI. So what do we have today? If you look at it, and I'm going to wear my glasses now because this is kind of small for me. So I think if you look at the proficient level, and first of all, also our courses are a mix of self-paced online sessions, so booster programs that you can start at any moment and that you can work through in your own pace, combined with ILT live sessions, so live webinars like we're doing today, where an expert is talking about a number of topics, and of course facilitated with a recording after the session. So we keep that mix of formats in the AI learning journey. And as you can see, we have a number of courses that are also linked to the ethical part. Like, for instance, we have a booster on the responsible AI management. And connected with that, we have an expert session where we go deeper into the fact whether your AI practice, whether the sector you're working in is high risk or not. We have general awareness sessions like what is AI, or an expert session on how to do prompting. We also have a session where an expert is talking about, what is the AI strategy of Microsoft? Where will it go, in the next 6 months? I don't think we can talk about years. It's about months. And we will, of course, update these sessions, schedule new ones. So that is the tone, a little bit of awareness about the ethical thing. On, let's say, the capabilities on the product level, we have two, let's say, booster programs, the core Microsoft Copilot Users Guide and the advanced Microsoft Copilot Users Guide. These are self-paced online booster programs that go through the whole spectrum, let's say, of Copilot. What do you need to know about Copilot before you can even, think about any solution that makes sense in an organization? And these booster programs, they're updated continuously. We also add new modules all the time. So they are, a very important component of the AI learning journey today. Then you see examples in progress where we apply more towards the Dynamics products. For instance, Copilot for Power Apps, Copilot for Power Automate, AI Builder, developing generative AI for extensions for Business Central, GitHub Copilot for Business Central. And we are working on even more programs. But I think here you can see how the mix of things is. We have a mix of formats. We have sessions that link to the ethical thing, the ethical dimension of Shape. We have sessions that will link to more performance-driven part of it, or to the curiosity part of it. So we try to find the balance in sessions that make up the Shape framework. And like I said, we're not there yet. We are in the same race as you are, finding appliances. We need to follow the products of Microsoft and how they develop. And at the same time, we need to build courses around that. So we need to envision the use cases ourselves as well. I think also what you need to be aware about is, how does AI arrive? So we just talked about the AI learning journey. But as you can see in the general architecture picture of how Microsoft sees AI today, there are so many dimensions to this, right? So what do we need to know? What is important for us as Dynamics partners? Where will we put the focus? In which technology will you work? There are so many variations here, or so many possibilities. AI is not just one technology where you can say, hey, let me learn about AI and then I will work with it. No, there are so many things around it. So AI can mean that you want to know much more about Copilot and Copilot Studio. AI can mean that you are seeking how to leverage this within BC, and that you are looking for, how can I use AI in the AL language of BC. But it can also be that you need to know much more about Azure and Azure AI services and Azure cognitive services. It can mean that you want to expand your knowledge on Dataverse. Or it can even be that you want to go directly into AI Builder itself. So there are so many components, and I think we also, as Platan and Companial, we need to prioritize, what will be the next program that we're doing. Is the mix still okay? What do partners need? And for me, this is also a shout out to you all, is let us know what the priority is. Let us prioritize this together, because I think it's important that we all are on the same track. Like I see it, I think a lot will also come through the Power Platform. We have seen the release of Power Platform years ago. We have seen a slow uptake of Power Platform, I think, from the Dynamics community, but it's increasing now. And I think that AI is going to facilitate that much more, because it's like a golden triangle where you have Power Platform, the Dynamics products, and then AI. AI will fuel how we work with Power Platform, and that will give us much more use cases with our native Dynamics 365 products. So I just mentioned that to you to say, like, make sure that you also follow all the updated product courses, because as we speak, my colleague Koen is updating, for instance, the functional Business Central courses with AI modules, with AI content right into the BC courses. So we have a separate AI learning journey, but we also leverage, what is happening within BC, for instance, with AI into the core courses of BC. Make sure that you also have a look at the Power Platform track. We see in our learning journey subscriptions that a lot of people are working on the BC tracks, a lot of people are working on the customer engagement tracks, but the Power Platform is still having slow uptake of participants. We do have, enough participants, but it's not increasing dramatically compared with the other product lines. And I think that, in the next 12 months or 24 months, that needs to change, because the golden key is certainly into that relation between Power Platform and our products. And that's also how we see a little bit, AI readiness and adoption, right? So we have an separate AI learning journey. We will continue to add more in there, but we also have a Power Platform learning journey. There will be new courses and updates to courses as these products are continuously enriched now with AI capabilities. And then we have our products learning journey tracks in there. And there you will see new courses coming up or additions to existing courses that without any doubt will be related to AI. Maybe also as important to also show you or to talk to you about what are we doing now. So in the background, we are working on new self-paced online courses that are linked to Azure booster programs, and where we think that for Dynamics partners, the Azure Foundation will also become quite important. Because, if you're making pilots, if you're trying, to find business value with AI technology, in some way or another, you will end up with Azure, and you will need to have some basic understandings about Azure. So we're working on that. We hope to be ready by the end of this year, so before Christmas, let's say, so that we can launch it in the beginning of 2026. There is also a course on develop AI apps in Azure. And we are also working on more use cases for BC developers, for instance, to work with AI in their environments. So in a nutshell, that is a little bit how we see AI maturity, and how we can help you with the learning journeys in that context. I don't know if you have any questions or remarks in this matter. Okay, good. Well, I hope that you learned something with this, and that you have an idea what we are working on and what we already have in the learning journey. If you have more questions, if you want to reach out, if you want to send us an email, feel free. We are always happy with feedback. We are always happy with input. It helps us to shape better learning journeys and programs. So please reach out, and thank you for your attendance.